Hi again. There are a few key ways that project managers help build high-functioning teams who work together to meet project goals. They create systems that turn chaos into order. They communicate and listen. They promote trust and psychological safety. They demonstrate empathy and create motivation. They delegate responsibility and prioritize. And they celebrate team success. Let's go through each of those points one by one. Good project managers lead their teams by creating systems that turn chaos into order. You can do this by creating, implementing, and improving standardized, measurable, repeatable, and scalable workflows and processes for your team. For example, if you find that you're usually chasing down teammates for progress on their work, you might set up a process for how and when a teammate should let you know that they've completed a task. Think of creating systems as a kind of connect the dots puzzle. Being a project manager is sort of like that, but there are no numbers, just dots and a partial image. But we don't need the numbers. We can notice the dots, know their importance, and string them together to help everyone visualize the project as a whole. You find the system through the chaos and help other people to find it too. Another way that project managers lead is through communicating and listening. As the project manager, it's your job to ensure that everyone on your team is on the same page regarding the status of your project. For example, you might communicate with the team via daily or weekly status update emails and regular team meetings. Team meetings also provide a space for listening, whether you're gathering feedback on a workflow or process or fielding questions from the group. You can also solicit feedback or questions via status update emails, since some people might feel more comfortable speaking in private. In addition to communicating and listening to the wider team, it's also your responsibility to regularly connect with individual teammates. You do this by gaining an understanding of communication styles and by asking people on your team how they prefer to communicate. What's important to know is that everyone communicates differently. For example, I might make small talk with colleagues who I know enjoy it, or I might get straight to the point with colleagues who prefer not to chat. Project managers also lead by promoting trust and psychological safety within their team. As a reminder, psychological safety refers to an individual's perception of the consequences of taking an interpersonal risk. Team members need to trust that they're safe in speaking up if they have feedback or concerns about the project as a whole or about their individual tasks. It's your job to create a team atmosphere where different opinions are welcome and all members remain respectful of one another during challenging conversations. For example, during weekly status meetings, you might schedule time for open, thoughtful, and inclusive discussions. You might model this by asking for help solving a problem that's impacting the team. You should encourage contributions from all team members, regardless of role or rank. By doing this, you make clear to your teammates that they should feel comfortable challenging processes and workflows. And you make clear that critiques of the project and plans are welcome and valued, no matter who they come from. While it can feel challenging to provide and accept feedback, it's a healthy part of project management and usually makes for a better project outcome. On an individual level, project managers lead by practicing empathy and creating motivation for their team members. It's possible you've heard the phrase, "there's no I in team." And while that's true that teams need to work together to be effective, it's also important to remember that teams are made up of individuals with differing motivations and lives outside of work. You can demonstrate empathy for your teammates by being present, listening, and asking questions. During one-on-one conversations, avoid making assumptions about what the other person is thinking and feeling. If you're quiet and curious, there's always more to learn. In addition to showing empathy for my team, I also like to create motivation by recognizing a job well done through public forums, like in a meeting or a group email. Recognition tells people that they're doing the right things and motivates them to keep up the good work. Be sure to recognize good work and not just heroic efforts. Project managers also lead by delegating responsibility and prioritizing. Most projects will likely have multiple tasks taking place simultaneously, and it's your job to keep the team focused and heading toward the project goals and deliverables. By delegating responsibility for specific tasks to individuals on your team, you provide your teammates with the opportunity to add value using their particular set of skills. You also give yourself space to focus on the project as a whole. By prioritizing tasks, you reduce ambiguity and provide clarity for your team. If you think that a task is important but your team doesn't, they might work on whatever tasks they like. By prioritizing and making that prioritization known, you keep the team focused. Work with your team to build consensus around priorities. Explaining your rationale can help you get their buy-in and increase their commitment to the work. Lastly, project managers lead by celebrating team success, both at the end of the project and throughout it. This includes celebrating big and small wins, like reaching a milestone or receiving positive feedback from stakeholders. Celebrating success is an important tool for motivating the team because it increases morale and boosts the team's engagement. You might celebrate the team with a group lunch, a small gift, or even just a congratulatory email. Simple gestures like these demonstrate appreciation for the team's hard work, and when people feel appreciated, they tend to work harder and their teams perform better. To recap, project managers build high-functioning teams in a few key ways: creating systems that turn chaos into order, communicating and listening, promoting trust and psychological safety, demonstrating empathy and creating motivation, delegating responsibility and prioritizing, and celebrating team success. As you grow in your career, you'll strengthen your ability to lead bigger and more complex teams, but the principles of teamwork will remain the same. Coming up, you'll learn about the stages of team development and how to manage team dynamics. I'll see you soon.